Edinburgh Fringe Comedians 2023. Who to watch out for in the world of comedy coming to this year's festival. Well, hello, my name is Matt Hale. I'm a comedy hypnotist and I'm bringing my show, Top Fun. It's an 80s themed hypnosis show, Top Fun, to this year's festival. So I maybe see you in August around that time. But if you are heading up to Edinburgh or along to Edinburgh, down to Edinburgh, over to Edinburgh in August, here are some other recommendations. I did mention a couple of other comedians in a previous video, so I'll just give you a quick name check, but you can have a look about those in one of those other videos. That was Joe White, Ethiopian and still not hungry, Ethiopian-based, now Australian, but originating from Ethiopia. Very, very funny comedian. And also Amos Gill, The Pursuit of Happy-ish. You can go and check those out. But let's take you 5 more. And again, I thought, do you know what? There's so many comedians out there. I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to give you 5 more Aussie comedians as well to watch out for. So let's get straight into it. I will tell you, though, that in a moment, I will tell you about one which is definitely not stand-up, ridiculously funny, very silly, and possibly one of my favourite Fringe shows as well. But yeah, definitely it's a really different kind of style of show. I'll let you know about that in a moment. So let's get into it. And the first person I will recommend is our man, Andrew Silverwood. I really, really want a zig and a nap. Very funny, great storyteller, and strangely enough, he's actually been stuck in Australia for a few years. I think he came over before COVID and then just never left. He came over for one of the Australian Fringe festivals and then just never left. So I'm not sure if we're lending him to you temporarily or he's staying back over there. But Andrew Silverwood, watch out for Andrew's latest show. And let's take you to our next recommendation, which is Michelle Brazier. Well, Michelle, musical genius. Hilariously funny. I actually just saw her pop up on one of the Grouse House YouTube videos the other day. I'm not sure if it's the most ridiculous guessing game or outrageous guessing game or I don't know, whatever, something like that. Yeah, go and look up the Grouse House videos there. But if you've seen, look, you would have seen either Michelle in some of her solo shows. I know she's been doing a lot of work in the UK recently, but also you may recognise her from her work with Auntie Donna, which is one of my favourite Australian comedy acts. But yeah, brilliant Auntie Donna. But Michelle is bringing her solo show Reform to the festival, so go check Michelle out. Let's move it on. Josh Glank. A true ridiculous clown-like comedian, surreal, bizarre, ridiculous, silly, childish, just absolute joyful. I absolutely love everything that Josh does, and I think you will too, judging by the amount of awards Josh wins. Yeah, it's a very, very common thought about Josh, how fantastic and funny he is. So Josh Glank, Collections 2023. You can check him out there in August. All right, moving on. Such an inspiration, now appearing at the House of Oz with lots of different Australian acts, but representing the comedy side of that is the brilliant, very brilliant Anna Piper Scott. Anna Piper Scott there, such an inspiration, comedian, trans woman, voice of a generation. And there you say, after a slew of award wins, nominations, and 5-star reviews, Anna has earned herself the title of Australia's most acclaimed independent comedian. And debuting this show at the Edinburgh Fringe, which is an absolute joy to know that she'll be there. All right. Let's move it on to the one that I said was a little bit bizarre, unusual, and not truly stand up in the normal stand up. It's not stand up at all. It's just funny. So here we go. And that is, and if you've been to Edinburgh before, you've probably seen John around about the place or advertised, but John Robertson's The Dark Room. Oh my goodness, one of my favorite Fringe shows ever. John puts on a it's like a choose your own adventure live game show. Very funny, just purely ridiculous, and he does do a kids version as well now. So if you've been to it before and loved it and just thought, the kids had loved it, except for all the adult stuff that goes on, there's now a kids version as well. So John Robertson's The Dark Room. Do not miss that. Let him know that I sent you along, because John's just brilliant. I absolutely love him. So anyway, so there you are. There are a few recommendations in the world of comedy, some comedians and comedy bits and pieces for this year's festival. If you've got any other tips, hey, why don't you let me know in the comments below? I'd love to know some other recommendations. I will get some downtime to see some other shows while I'm there. So please let me know who I should see, who you think I should see. Also, make sure you subscribe. I will be doing a lot more of these videos as well. And hit the little bell that gets you the information or gets you the alert that when I actually put a new video. And probably within the next day, I will be launching another new video. And tomorrow's video will be Edinburgh Fringe magic shows and magicians for the 2023 festival. We'll go through a few of the big ones for you and some you may not have even heard about. I will speak to you then.